All right. Well, I just had one of my customers, regulars, drop off a Schecter Diamond series Telecaster. It has two different Seymour Duncans in humbuckers in the pickups. I forget, each one is a different Seymour. I forget which one they are. Customer speculates that the previous owner installed them himself. And on the bridge, he has issues where the pickup cuts in and out, and he has to like tap the volume knob to get it to come back in. So something's loose, something's not making a good connection, and then on the neck pickup, the coils, both of these are coil split. On the neck pickup, it's constantly split, so he doesn't have the option to choose to have it in humbucker mode. Now, he said, quite honestly, he would just keep it split all the time because he likes using the single coil neck. But here's the thing, it has the option and he would like it working, so we're going to get it working for him. Now, he said the setup is perfect. He does not need a setup on it. And honestly, just looking at it, let's give it a quick little play here. It does look very nice. Oh yeah. Oh, that feels good. Oh, nice thick neck, like a classic Telecaster neck. Okay, he's got it in some kind of drop tuning. Yeah, it plays great. So he asked for like 10 through 46, but I told him I do have 10 through 46. I also have some John Mayer silver slinkies, which are 10.5 through 47. So the difference being, you have 10 and then 10.5, 13, 13.5, 17, 17.5. And then 26, 27, 36, 37, 46, 47. So on your silver slinkies, your first three high strings are 1/2 size bigger, and then on the low three strings, they're a whole size bigger. So that is the difference between your regular slinky and your John Mayer silver slinkies. So, we're going to put silver slinkies on this beast, but first thing is, we got to get inside here and figure out what is going on with it. So, in order to do that, since we are going to be putting new strings on, we're going to take the old strings off. I think these were hip shot tuners. Yeah, some nice hip shot tuners on here. Okay. I am seeing that this is definitely not factory stuff. We got some real ugly shielding tape going on, as well as some really ugly soldering. I mean, just really, really ugly soldering. I can see spots where the sleeve, like the coating on the wire, has been like burnt while they're trying to get in here and work things around. Yeah, this is really sloppily done. gonna take his strap off so it's not dangling and getting in my way. Like, first thing I just want to do is just trim a little bit of this excess interior shielding from inside of a wire off that was just hanging out loose. But yeah, I'm looking at a bunch of really, just really, really bad wiring here. It's real ugly. So, all right, first things first. Is there any reason this would be going to ground for any reason? It's a little loose too. All right, it's loose, so we got to tighten that up. Is there any reason why his volume would be going to ground? Any obvious reason? Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just real shoddy job. And right here, I'm looking at a wire that it's not really making contact with the terminal. It's more just held in place with a thick layer. It's like, here's the terminal, here's the wire. It's not making contact with the terminal and then being soldered in place. There is like solder in between the wire and the terminal. So it's trying to use the solder as its conductor in between. And that's not really, while solder is metal and it's conductive, it's not going to be the best thing to carry your signal through. You want your wire to make contact with your terminal and then be soldered in place with a conductive substance. There's probably other things here that I'm not seeing that are obvious. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. So another thing is, and this is probably honestly what it is. I wish I had better light to show you or to zoom up, but on this wire right here, which is going to his bridge volume pot, you have 2 wires within one. This red wire has a bare wire, which is the ground, being soldered to the back of the pot. And then it has a white wire that is going to the terminal on your potentiometer. The problem is too much of that white wire has been stripped back and is bare. And so the bare wires touch and make contact with the terminal next to it, which is a ground terminal. It's a grounded terminal, which means it's sending the signal to ground. And that is why his pickup is crapping out on him. So that one's an easy fix. I'm just going to do a better soldering job and really get that on the terminal and make sure that those bare wires are not able to touch anything else. We're essentially gonna solder it off to loosen it, roll up all those bare wires, and then create like a J hook that goes through the terminal's eye loop, and then kind of twist it together and then solder that in place so that there's no bare wires that could move and touch anything else that would send your signal to ground. Other than that, I'm going to look for more things like that could send things to ground, and then we're going to get the bridge push-pull tone pot. We're going to get that splittable with his bridge neck pickup. I've been talking so much at work that now my tongue is exhausted. It's having a hard time saying words. All right. I'm going to look up a diagram for a push-pull pot and then see where any differences are, and then get this thing rocking and rolling. Oh, I see. Well, I can already see what's going on. He only has 1/2 of the bridge pickup. What is going on here? What the fuck is going on? This is coming around here. I see what's going on. I feel like I could really simplify a lot of this wiring. I think there's only one segment of that pickup is going to the push-pull, and rather than being able to have both and then activate. That in there. Stick that into the amp. Flathead screwdriver. This should be. Yep, let's turn that down. Actually, okay, so we're on bridge, pull. Cool, okay. So, when we split the bridge, it goes to the slugs. It goes to the slugs on the bridge. That's how it was set up. I didn't change anything. Personally, if I'm going to split a bridge, I probably would have put it on the single coil closest to the bridge. I would have put it on the adjustable screws rather than the solid slugs closest to the bridge, because when I split a coil, I want kind of the most extreme of that single coil sound. So the way that I just adjusted, the way that I just wired this pickup on was to be also this is the slugs on the bridge. On the neck, I did it to be the adjustable, so it's closest to the neck, so that you get that nice, sweet warmth of that single coil, like in a Strat pickup or a Tele pickup, where it's right next to the neck. It's getting you that nice, warm, fucking bluesy goodness. So let's test this real quick. Okay, now let's split it. We're gonna split. Yep. So we got the adjustable screw side on the bridge is the split, and I got that off of a Seymour Duncan coil tapping wire diagram. Different ways to wire it depending if you want the adjustable or the slug side. So we kept the bridge wired the same. It is the slug side that becomes the active half of the pickup when you split it, and then on the neck it is the adjustable side closest to the neck. So in both cases it is the top or more neck forward pickup in both cases when you split them. Yeah, now with that all set up, and we have our I wonder, this is middle. Okay, so in the middle, both split. Oh, I'm jealous of this setup, and like now I want to build a double humbucker guitar and throw coil splits in it, or maybe throw coil splits in my. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do on my Les Paul copy with the burst top, that cherry burst. I'm gonna do the Jimmy, I think it was Jimmy Page wiring that I was just came across the setup where there are coil splits, and then the other push-pulls, like, you know, you have both your volumes are push-pulls and both your tones are push-pulls. And your volumes, I believe, were the coil splits, and your tones were in and out of phase. That makes me really want to do that to a project now. But this is all wired up. That's great. We're going to get it back put together, and then we're just going to clean the body up, and then start working on stringing it back up now that everything is working the way that it should. Next most important thing is turn off the soldering iron and unplug it, because safety, because I've been working late on guitars sometimes, and I've gone to bed and then the next morning came back into my office only to catch a glimpse out of the corner of my eye that my soldering iron is still on. So do that now. All right, now let's gently place this baby back in. We gotta make sure all the wire goes through the routing the way that it's supposed to. Okay, I'll say one thing that I just noticed because of the light coming down on the frets. These frets kind of look pretty flat on top. I mean, they're rounded, but they're like rounded very flat. It's almost like someone, when you look at it from the top, they just look like a perfectly square flat top to them. So I don't know if someone leveled the frets and never crowned never put a good crown on them again. But I'm not going to touch that because he likes everything the way it is. It's perfect, so I'm not going to fuck with his mojo. He said he really likes the way that this plays for him, so getting into things like that are gonna start affecting things, and I'm not about to start messing with things like that. He's got good mojo with this guitar. We just needed to get the electronics working for him. Okay, now we got all our screws in. Some guitar polish and cleaner. I'll say whoever had this guitar before and was doing the wiring before, there's a lot of sticky stuff on the wires. There was like gunk on the wires. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if at one point in time they had the wires like taped up, and then they pulled the tape off and it left the sticky residue on the wires, but it was pretty nasty. And I see that these pickups have just a little bit of gunk on them, and there was a little bit of gunk on the pit guard. So for this dude, we want to get his guitar cleaned up for him. So that's just the pit guard that I was kind of cleaning, and so around the pit guard it was just a little nasty. Now, turn this rag inside out, wipe down the rest of the body a little bit. We're going to use a little Dunlop 65 body gloss. Cream of Carnauba. God, I love the smell of this stuff. And this is just a body polish. It's almost like waxing your car. You see that neck, or that mirror-like finish? Ooh, look at that. All right, now to do that with the front. Here's the before. You can see everything kind of has a hazy glow, a little bit of a blur. Hi, sweetie. Hi. You want to check out the guitar? You just want attention, don't you? Okay, okay. All right, time out for kitty love. Okay. So now that the cat is done, let's see. A little bit more mirror-like. All right. Strings. John Mayer signature silver slinkies. Silver Slinky strings are the result of an extraordinary partnership between Ernie Ball and John Mayer. Each string has been meticulously engineered with specific gauges and core to wrap ratios that meet John's exacting specifications, resulting in the perfect balance of tone and tension. Custom Slinky recipes crafted uniquely to John's preference, never before offered gauge combination, reinforced plain strings for added tuning, stability, and durability. Well, Mr. Mayer, put your strings on this guitar. Oh, that's the next thing I'm going to do. So, talking about tuning stability, there's a like pencil graphite in the nut. We're going to use a little bit of this Tune It Every String Change Lubricant. Helps you stay in tune, reduces string breakage, reduces friction and wear, eliminates ping sounds, petroleum and silicone free. I did not know that. Interesting. I wonder what they're using, if it's petroleum and silicone free. Cool. Well, we're going to want to put a little bit on each bridge saddle just to lubricate that little channel. There we go. And then we're going to go down here to the nut. We're going to lube up our nut. You know, something, I think part of the reason this plays so good is because it has a well-cut nut. A well-cut nut is more important than anything else. And then we're going to use a little bit of this lube on the string trees. Oop, I squirted out too much. That's what she said. Here we have our 47, 37, A string, standard tuning, 27, 'This is the D string. Now we're moving on to the half sizes, 17 and a half. I feel like this gauge string set is going to be good for this client and the music he plays. He plays some, you know, heavier, harder rock stuff, and even when he wants to do, you know, like a normal string set of like 10s, just normal 10 through 46, just having this slightly, just, you know, slightly larger gauge sets. He's not going to 11. This slightly larger gauge set will probably work for him really well in the kind of music that he likes to play. 13 and a half. Our second to last string. This is the B string. Ah, oh, shit. I didn't get to make any G string jokes. Now the fun part is to see, after I get these on here, how close or far from tuning I got. Into the body, the last one. This is our high E. And go right there. We're going to tighten this bitch down, bend it up under the string tree, into the nut. Uh-oh. Interesting. His E tuner is wiggly. Hold on. What's going on here? Where are we at here? Oh, they're all off and wiggly. What is going on here? These were not... Oh, hold on. We're going to have to do some surgery here. Okay, I'm going to have to show a close-up picture of what's happening here. Or maybe I can... yeah, we'll do a picture. I'll throw a picture up on the screen. These tuners are sitting inside of brackets and rotating freely. Now, it's 2 brackets, so it looks like this could be used for 6 in a row or 3, 3 and 3, right? Problem being, the low 3 strings, the bracket is in the correct place. It has like a little tab that is holding the tuner in spot. The back 3 strings, the bracket is not in the correct position. It needs to be flipped around, and then the tuner's dropped back inside of it. So here we go. I'll show you. Let's see if I can get this. I'm going to turn on a flash because that's going to show. I need something to point with. I'll point with this. It's going to show the bracket kind of holding. And spot, it didn't flash. And then on this side, the bracket is right above my pointer, so it's unable to support the part of the tuner that it should be supporting. So we're gonna have to flip it around and reverse it. Son of a bitch. Okay. So now, in order to do that, I'm going to have to undo the back 3 strings. Maybe I can just loosen the tension. The first 3 are good. We're going to snip off the excess. We're going to keep some excess on the back 3 in case some things change and we have to, you know, fuck with it, but gosh darn it. Here you can see this bracket, and you can see these little tabs on the bracket right here. These tabs. So before, this bracket was opposite of the other, and when, how would this have been sitting in? It would have been sitting, yeah. Okay. It was sitting like this. The tab was in front, so this actually was spinning. But if you flip this around, these tabs fit on the top and bottom of the tuner here, and now it can't spin. So it was just in the wrong direction. But now we have to put it in the correct direction and reinstall these rear tuners. All right, easy fix, not a big deal. Now that we have them finger tightened, we can flip her back over, and then we'll just come in and snug up these on the front side. Snug, snug, and snug. All right. Not going anywhere now. Maybe a little more snug. We'll just use this to just gently snug. 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 Okay. Let's just check the intonation. It's good enough. But let's tune it in playing position now. Oh, we're in playing position, everything changed. Now we're too sharp. It's funny how putting it in playing position made everything sharp. Oh, you know why that is? This was allowing it to have a little bit of relief. And then when I lifted it off, there's no support under the neck, so the tension got just a smidge bit tighter. Now let's check the intonation. Perfect, perfect. Okay, now that that's done, we are a half step down. I'm gonna mic up an amp real quick. There might be a connection issue at the switch here I just found. Too much exposed wire on the switch, grounding out. taper. They don't drop off until like 1, between 1 and 0. I wonder if that's because of the capacitors that are being used for the tone, but it's a weird taper. Volumes have a fine taper all the way. Tone doesn't do anything until you get to 1, between 1 and 0. It's like at 1, then you're at full tone. Could also just be cheap push-pull potentiometers. You know, if they're got some better ones, that might be the fix. Or ones with a different taper, I don't know. But other than that, I mean, this